Hi, my name is Lukas, and in this video you'll learn everything you need to know about the scanner introduced in Borlabs Cookie 3.0. You can find the scanner in the menu on the left side under Scanner, or up here in the horizontal menu also under Scanner. Once you are on this page, you have the option to add a new scanner via the button up here on the top right corner. But before we start with the actual tutorial and run our own scanner once, a very important note beforehand. We also can see it here on the right side. Your website must be publicly accessible for the scanner to function. This means if your website is currently locally hosted or even offline, then the scanner cannot visit your website. The same goes for plugins that trigger a maintenance mode or under construction mode on your site, because these plugins also prevent the scanner from visiting your website. However, what works is the so-called HTTP auth or HTTP authentication. You could activate this via this button here and thus provide the scanner with the username and the password for the website. And in that case, the scanner would also work. Let's deactivate the whole thing again and continue with the next question. Which scan type should I actually choose? In Borlabs Cookie 3.0 there are two different scan types. There's the setup scan type and the audit scan type. You should usually start with the setup scan type when you are setting up Borlabs Cookie for the first time, or if you just have added a new plugin and you're not sure if it's loading external resources or not. The audit scan type is meant to check if additional resources from external sources are being loaded afterwards. In this example, let's start with the setup scan type. For pages to scan, selection of sites per post type is selected by default. This means if you have a blog and a WooCommerce shop, they are always pages of the post type blog post, pages of the post type products, pages of the post type category, and of course normal pages. By default, the scanner will then pick one or two examples from each category to check if anything is being loaded on these pages that shouldn't be loaded. Additionally, there's also the option to have individual pages checked by the scanner. This would work by simply setting it to custom here in the menu and then selecting the corresponding page from the drop-down menu. But you can also define exact URLs here by activating the custom page option, where it's possible to enter up to 100 URLs. Basically, this isn't necessary because, as I explained earlier, most websites have a similar structure. You should only scan these individual pages if you really know, okay, on this exact page I have a YouTube video, for example. So let's reset everything and do a test scan to see how it works. Let's remove this checkbox again and click on Selection of sites per post type and start the scanner once. The scanner now visits your website in the background and checks if there are any external resources that may need to be blocked. So the scan result is now here and we can already see which pages were scanned. We have the normal homepage here, a sample blog post, we have the contact page, we have another sample page, and we also have the imprint. At this selection on our test page, you can already see how the scanner works. As hinted earlier, the scanner selects the individual categories that exist on your site. So if there's a blog on your site, the scanner will select the blog post as an example and check it. The same goes for the contact page. The scanner selects it automatically because on the contact page there are often maps embedded, for example from Google Maps or Google reCAPTCHA, to secure the contact form. It gets interesting when you scroll down a bit more, because then we actually see the test results. Here under cookies we can check if cookies are being set. And then we see that a YouTube video was embedded on the test page and thus cookies were found. Then you scroll down a bit more and check if external resources were also found. Solely through this YouTube video we can see all the things that were loaded. Here we have Google Fonts, here we have the double-click address, again Google Fonts, and also gstatic again, so again Google Fonts. So we found a lot of external resources. How can we improve this? It's already stated here that Google Fonts is a recommended package, and here YouTube is a recommended package. If you scroll down a bit more, you'll see the suggestions for what we should do now. Recommended packages for installation are Contact Form 7, because it was integrated on a contact page, then Elementor, Google Fonts, WP Forms, WPML, and YouTube. All of these are things that the scanner has recognized, and to make it easier for you, you can simply click on Details for any package. For example, for YouTube, you can then install this package by clicking on the button. Very important, you should always read the text up there, because sometimes for a package, pre or post processing may be necessary. If you want to learn more about how the library works and thus how the packages work, then also watch the video about it. For this video, I'll shorten it up a little bit, so just scroll down a bit more and find the installation point. Click on install once and then the corresponding package will be installed in the background. Now let's go back to the scan result by simply scrolling down a bit more and clicking here on the back to scan result button, and then install the additional packages. That means now we are going back to the bottom and installing the packages for the Elementor or the package for Google Fonts. Of course, you should install all the packages that are now suggested to you. What's also important now is that you really think again. Were really all pages scanned which are important to me, or did the scanner miss something? It's best to think about it briefly again. What's the structure of your website? How was it built? Are there any external resources embedded directly on any page? Because then you would have to go back and, as I explained at the beginning, scan this individual page again. So if you know, for example, I have a YouTube video on some random page, as the scanner has now also detected here in this example, then you would simply click on scanner again, and as I just told you, click on add new up here, and then you could switch from selection of sites per post type to custom, and then have individual pages checked via this field. I'm just saying, double checking is always a good thing. What's also important afterwards is that you do the audit scan type right after the setup scan type. The audit scan type is, as I said, meant to check if external resources are being loaded afterwards. Sometimes it could happen that embedded JavaScript sets a cookie and includes code that includes other JavaScript code, and this could then set new cookies. Exactly for this, you should then set the audit scan type afterwards. To do so, just set the scan type to audit, select selection of sites per post type, and after that we can create the scan and let it run again. So the scan is now finished, and basically we don't have to do anything more. Nevertheless, we can take another look at the page here, and now no cookies were found anymore. Another important notice regarding the cookies listed here, we saw it just now within the first scan, only 2 cookies were listed here. So basically not all cookies are always displayed here, because Borlabs has a huge list of cookies, and if the scanner finds a cookie that belongs to a certain service, then it knows exactly, now I have to block all the other cookies that belong to this service too. And that's it with this video. I hope the video was helpful for you. If you need more information about the scanner or generally about Borlabs Cookie 3.0, then also take a look at the Borlabs knowledge base at borlabs.io/support, or take a look on YouTube for more information about Borlabs Cookie 3.0. Definitely also take a look at, as I already mentioned, the video about the library, because it's closely related to the scanner. With this said, thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next video.